Hi, this is Erin at Parenting Healthy, and I wanted to show you, I've featured a lot from Honeywell in the past. They've done great fans, especially room humidifiers, but Honeywell has this HeatGenius, and I wanted to kind of show you this in person. There's a couple things you should consider before buying a space heater. Sure, I think the first thing that comes to people's mind is safety. My oldest stepson several years ago had a house fire. He had those, not a good quality one, but he had one of those older kind of metal space heaters and a new puppy, and one of the dog's toys had gotten shoved under it. They went to bed at night, and sure enough, in the middle of the night it caught fire. The house was a total loss. It was destroyed. They fled out the front door as the windows exploded around them. Thank goodness, because the puppy woke up and was acting frantic. They didn't have smoke alarms because it kept beeping and it annoyed them. They were young, early 20s, and it was beeping and it annoyed them. It needed the batteries changed, so they took out the batteries and set the smoke alarms aside, attempting to put new batteries in them sometime, but they weren't up with batteries when the fire started. So thank goodness. His girlfriend at the time woke up and sensed something was wrong, looked under the door, saw glowing orange, and they actually opened their bedroom door and opened the front door to get out. Of course, that brought oxygen in. Windows exploded, and at the time it was our son renting my husband's parents' home, the family home, and it was a total loss. So there are dangers with heat, so it's important when you buy a space heater that you really consider a lot of features that make these a lot safer today, especially the newer ones. And Honeywell's always great. They have safety in mind. As safe of a heater as this is, it comes with a booklet of tips on things to consider on staying safe with a space heater. But this one's great, the size is great, and the intensity of heat is great, but there are some features in here that you would want in a space heater. I'll read them so I don't forget anything, but there is a tip over switch, so if it does get knocked over or tipped, you can't, the way this thing is set up, you can't shove a toy or get anything trapped under it, so if something were to bump it or it gets knocked over, it's going to turn off. So very important safety feature. It is also cool touch housing, so I'm going to actually move the box. I set it all up so I didn't have to unbox it and take that time. So it's right here. So it is cool to the touch when it's on. You can feel that heat's coming out of here, but it's not unbearable. You can't, it's not so hot you can't touch it. So if something gets wedged up against this, the chances of it, catching fire are very slim. It's got an overheat protection, so internally if something's going on, it's not gonna catch fire. It should shut itself off. And then there's it's high quality heat resistant plastics. So inside and out, this is made with plastic that can withstand the heat that this puts out, including overheating, in which case, before anything happens to this, it's gonna shut itself off. So for those worried about safety or see space heaters and cringe, this has all the safety features you need to look for in one unit. So I'll show you some really cool functions with this. So again, before I take the box away, this is called the HeatGenius by Honeywell. So this is all about giving you control of how you want to heat a small space, a large space. This can heat a living room very well. It may be of a college student away where it's very cold in a dorm room. Maybe you have an elderly that the thermostat bills are high. The thing about space heaters is that they're typically very energy efficient. They cost very little to run. So a lot of times you have children with allergies that can't take the burning of a wood stove, or you don't like the smell of your furnace. So in those cases, this is a great little heater that heats big spaces. So here's a power button. Turn it on. Right now it's set on high, and this is high. If I sit here too long with this door shut and I'm in a bedroom, an average sized bedroom, I'm going to feel it really well. But you have this personal control here. So the first button is called personal. You probably can move. I'm going to move the phone. Sorry for this, but I want you to see real quick. So we've got a power, a personal mode, and then high and low, the temperature settings, a timer, and quiet. So that's what I'm going to go over with you here. So, but I want you to see it full span here. Okay, so personal space, I have it just where the upper is coming out. So if you're working and you're freezing cold and you put this on kind of on a floor, lower incline beside you or your desk, you're going to get that heat right here. If I click it again, I get kind of a middle heat. So we've got kind of heat coming out here, and it's going to kind of warm your lap, I'd probably say, you know, if it's at the right height. And then you have just floor. So this, I think, would be great for like bathrooms, if you're looking to just kind of warm that floor when you first walk in or step out of the shower. So that would be a good spot for that. Then you have a high and low. So if you're going to put this in your garage while you're working on cars, or you're going to get this for your husband or something while he's out there working, in the shed or the barn or the cars, your RV, during the summer for those cold evenings, high is going to be your best source for a large room. Then you have a low setting for smaller spaces. You've got personal temperature control, so you can really dial in your right temperature. I have it at 78 right now. So this is a heat phase timer. So this isn't just a set it and it clicks off. And I'll show you what I mean by clicks off in a second. When you press this and you've got it all the way at the top of the red, this is a 2-hour setting. Every 30, so right now it's going to be at its highest, according to how you set it, temperature. In 30 minutes, it's going to cool down a little bit. In another 30 minutes, it'll get even cooler, and in another 30 minutes, it'll be a shut-off mode. So if you just need heat to sleep, perhaps you want to nap, it's freezing cold, you can't get comfortable, or maybe waking up in the morning, you get that blast of hot heat, and then before you overheat, it's going to gradually turn itself down, then shut itself off after 2 hours. So it's a 30-minute increment for a 2-hour timer, if that makes sense. Then you have, I'm going to turn that off. So I'm going to keep pressing it. You can do an hour where it's at average heat, and then it'll go down a little bit in 30 minutes and shut off, or just a 30-minute kind of cooler heat. So it's off. I'm back to a low heat at 75. I have a quiet mode. I'm going to pull this closer. I don't know if you can hear through the video the difference between. So I'm not sure if you can hear that. I'll turn it back on without quiet mode on. So if you can hear that, I won't know until I watch this myself. But you can tell that you can kind of turn the sound a little bit lower, and low still gives you a nice quiet white noise if you're using it at night. When you shut it off, look at this nifty feature. So keep your eye on here. It's going to not just shut off abruptly. It's going to kind of cool itself for a second. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, off. So there you go. This is very customizable, safe. It's got all the features you want for safety, a great space heater. I'm going to write more about it and put an official blog review up. I'll attach this video to that. For now, below, I will have a link directly to the product, and then you can find the review soon on parentinghealthy.com in the next few days. All right, thank you for watching, and be safe.